Thank you for joining us on this overview of FASB compliance within AMTdirect. The first thing we'll want to capture are your policy elections, which are stored in our system settings in AMTdirect. Here you will select the accounting standards that your organization will use, including FASB 842, both FASB 842 and IFRS 16, GASB, or just IFRS 16. In addition, AMTdirect allows you to store your net present value interest rates, either standard across all of your leases, or determined by groupings such as business unit, entities, or geographic areas, along with asset classes or other defining lease criteria. Rates are then assigned to term lengths with the ability to add different term lengths to the system. AMTdirect also allows for any calendar type and the ability to select capitalization thresholds for small ticket items. These default settings are used in conjunction with the lease data and to generate amortization schedules and automatically classify your leases. Summaries and schedules can be found within the Standard Manager. Summary screens are provided with information around start date, end date, amounts to be capitalized, straight line amounts, and posted balances. Within the revision information, users will see the auto classification of the lease based on the default settings, along with the lease information. Lease classifications can be overridden, but a note is required and it will log the event in the AMTdirect Compliance Manager. Options that are reasonably certain to exercise can also be managed from this area, along with asset influencing items like prepayments, initial direct costs, landlord allowances, or if you need to impair an asset. These items will affect your right-of-use total asset balance. Schedules can also be accessed from this area. The schedules are very detailed but very easy to understand, breaking down your cost to be capitalized, lease liability, including your long-term and short-term liability balances and adjustments, right-of-use asset calculations, including any asset influencing items, along with the right-of-use asset balance and expense calculations. Generating and exporting journal entries from AMTdirect is a simple process. You have the ability to filter your journal entries by location filters and/or contract filters, and then select the period of the journal entries that you want to post. Once you start, the system will validate the journal entries and show any exemptions of schedules that will not generate journal entries. Once I continue with my process, I can see the journal entries prior to posting or closing the period. Finally, once I've determined that I'm ready to close the period on these leases, I will post them to begin the export process. Posted batches are then easily accessible for export in a standard CSV format or can be configured through a SFTP process directly to your ERP system. Last, but certainly not least, is the ability to generate the reports needed for compliance with the new accounting standards. Our Report Builder is where you will find these standard reports. You can also build additional ad hoc tabular style reports, advanced reports with charts and graphs, or crosstab reports. Those reports can also be built into dashboards like you are looking at here and are interactive. Standard reports that you can find under the FASB IASB reports include your disclosure reports, which can be run quarterly or annually. These reports will have the information necessary, such as your weighted averages for lease terms and discount rates, along with lease cost information and cash amounts in measuring the lease liabilities. Another quantitative report needed is your maturity analysis, showing your remaining payments by period less your interest. While these quantitative summary reports are important, the ability to drill down into that data from an audit perspective is critical, so they have the ability to validate the amounts in the summary reports. In addition, AMTdirect also has standard roll-forward reports, available to show a summary of the beginning balances of a time period versus the ending balances of a time period, and what happened in between, and again giving you the ability to drill down into that data. So as you could see, AMTdirect has the ability to guide you through compliance from start to finish. If you have additional questions or for a more in-depth demonstration, please reach out to us at sales@amtdirect.com and let us help you become compliant.